Hello, my wonderful Scorpios. Welcome back to Vovo. I'm going to sneeze. Or not. Welcome back to Vovo Drag Tarot. I, of course, am Joni Vovo, a drag performer based in Sydney's Inner West in Sydney, Australia. And this is a general reading for the Scorpio collective. So if Scorpio is your sun, moon, or rising, this video, pardon me, is for you. Um, like all general readings, it means that the messages that come through might be for quite a broad audience. So just take the messages that resonate with your situation and leave the others for someone else watching on. Yeah, don't force it to fit. If it doesn't fit, it doesn't fit. It just means it's a message for someone else. Today, I'll be using the Rider-Waite deck and doing a Celtic cross to look at your current situation, challenges you might be facing, what might be coming up ahead, some general advice, and a potential outcome. And I say potential because you are in charge of your own life. Use your own head, heart, and intuition to make your own choices. So just use this as a chance for you to have a bit more clarity and insight about your own situation, okay? So Scorpios, I am also a Scorpio moon. So we'll see. Yeah, I'll be interested to see how personal it gets for me. Also, if you're here for the first time, I would love to hear where you're watching or viewing this video from. If you care to share, dial in below. Like I said, I'm in Sydney, Australia. I think a lot of my viewers are from the States, but I've had people from Scotland, Canada, Switzerland. So yeah, let me know. Also, the best way to support me is to hit like or subscribe. Would greatly appreciate it. And I also do personal readings. If you have a look in the description box below, you can find a link through to book a 20-minute video personal reading. Yeah, if you have any questions, just send me. My email's there as well. You can always email me or just send me a message on Instagram. That's probably the best way to get in touch. Anyway, that's enough of me rambling. Shall we get into it? All right, Scorpio. Here we go. Okay, cool. So your starting position is you're very in tune and aware of your own emotional space. Beautiful, wonderful. You are able to navigate the depths of your inner world, and you also have a great, wonderful capacity to hold space for other people and I guess validate and walk them through their emotions. Yeah, you're just all about the emotional space at the moment, but not in a negative, everything's out of control and overwhelming kind of way, just in a sense that you can navigate it with ease and with calm and see things clearly for what they are. That's great. That's wonderful. Awesome starting position. Let's see how the rest of the reading pans out. Okay. Scorpio. So, interestingly enough, you've come off the back of some massive ending. Something completely fell apart and it was devastating. It was something probably that you invested a lot of yourself in. You probably invested your hopes and your dreams and time, energy, emotions. You thought it was going to go somewhere and nope, it ended. And yeah, it was a painful ending. It wasn't just one of those small, endings like, I don't know, your favorite TV show stops running and they cancel it. It's like one of the big ones, like you left a relationship, you left a job, some important person exited your life, you had to relocate or move and leave a whole community of people behind. Something big happened. But it looks like you're in a place where you've probably wept and cried and screamed and yelled and asked the universe, why? You've gone through all the extreme feelings of it. But you're now at a place where you can see it all with a bit more perspective and clarity. You can see it and be like, okay, that was difficult. I didn't expect that to happen. It wasn't the outcome I wanted, but it happened, and I'm okay. Yeah, it was painful. Yeah, it sucked. Yeah, it caused me grief and anger, but I can see it for what it is. It ended. It was meant to end. And I'm moving on with my life. I'm healing, I'm recovering, and I'm ready to be open for what comes next. So you're able to carry this experience. You've processed it, you've grieved it and felt all the feels, and you can now see it, acknowledge it, hold it, but it's not a burden anymore. If that makes sense. You know, that's you know, one of the aspects of life is we go through big chapters, big story arcs. And, you know, we can sometimes approach the end of a chapter by just shutting it out, being like, nope, that didn't happen. But, you know, a more holistic way is to be able to hold it and say, okay, it was a mixed bag, right? It was a mixed bag of experiences. They were great. You know, I have great memories. I learned a lot. I grew a lot. I experienced a lot of tragedy as well. And I can hold all of those aspects of that experience and those memories. And it's okay. It brought me to where I am today. It made me who I am now. And it's okay. Okay. All right, let's keep going. Oh, okay. Well, that's quite interesting. So it looks like we got to the end of a chapter. 10 is about a completion. And then it looks like currently you're sitting here in the middle space. You have enough distance and perspective from the closing of that chapter. So you're kind of in this place of openness, and perhaps you aren't quite into the next chapter yet, but you're kind of like in this in between liminal space. It's like one chapter ended, the next chapter hasn't started, but you're in a place where you're resting, you're recovering. You have so much perspective and clarity. It's great. It's wonderful. And because you've done that healing and processing and brought yourself back to center and calm, what's around the corner is the Ace of Swords. So we've gone from 10, cycled back round to 1, a new beginning. And swords are about the thought. The thought. That's I'm great at grammar, it seems. Swords are all about the mind and thought. They're also about the word and what's spoken in communication. So whilst this chapter, you had told yourself all these stories, all these narratives of what was going to happen, and then it didn't happen and it got derailed and it ended. So this new opportunity is going to be the start of a new chapter, the start of writing a new story. And perhaps you're just waiting for that initial seed or spark, this little light bulb moment or epiphany where it's going to show you the way into this next chapter. To be really daggy, it's like those first few words in a novel. It's like, once upon a time there was a blah blah blah. So it's like you're just waiting for the next chapter to start writing itself, and it's coming. And like I said, because you're in this centered, neutral space where you've got perspective, you've created the space for this new chapter to start writing itself. That sounds so cheesy, but it was the best analogy I could come up with. Okay. All right, Scorpios, let's keep going. Okay, well, so, you know, I've talked about how you're kind of in the middle of chapters at the moment, and everything may feel like it's slowed down or it's stagnant, or you might feel a bit like you're free floating in space because the ground that you were standing on before has fallen away. And I'm just full of analogies and idioms tonight. All right, so you leapt off the ground that has fallen away, and you haven't quite landed yet on the next solid ground. So you are a bit free floating in space. So it's just for a time, but it's also for a chance for you to continue to do that interior work, basically, and ask yourself lots of questions. And I don't just mean the simple surface level ones, like where if you're looking back at this Ten of Swords, you're like, why did it happen? Why did it have to end? No, it's going a bit deeper and being like, okay, why was I so heavily invested in that? What was so important to me about that it was devastating? And if you can look at sort of the hidden motives or the hidden values that were playing out there. So if it was a relationship or a job, and you were invested for the long haul, and it's like, why? What was motivating you? Why was it so important to you? Even as things were falling apart or things were coming to an end, why did you feel that you had to hold a tight grip to it? Why couldn't you let go of it? Was it out of fear? Was it because there was something to you that was really, really important? And with that chapter ending, maybe your values have shifted and changed. Maybe what you thought was important, or you thought was true or real or reliable, maybe you've been shown that those things aren't necessarily true anymore. Maybe your truths have changed, your values have changed, your perspective of the world has changed. So whilst you're here in this in-between space, it's a chance for you to ask those questions and really get to know yourself a lot better. Like, what are you projecting out onto the world and other people? What are the stories you're telling yourself? And based on this last chapter that came to a close, are there things that you have unlearned or things that you now see differently? So going into this new chapter, what are you going to do differently? Or what's now important to you that wasn't important then? It's a whole new chapter. Don't just write the same story again. Write a better one. So you're very much in an energy where you are ready to take charge. Perhaps whatever this last chapter was, you kind of felt like you were being thrown around by the the current and the waves of fate or whatever, or it was just circumstance. It just happened to me. Sorry, I'm laughing because these are all stories we tell ourselves, myself included. So I'm laughing just at being a human, right? I'm not laughing at you. So yeah, you might have very much felt like you didn't have a lot of control. That's not the word I want to use. I'm going to say agency. You maybe felt like you didn't have a lot of your own power in that previous situation for you to create what you wanted, go in the direction you wanted, to have a wonderful outcome, that you wanted. So you're done with that. Whatever this next chapter is, you are the authority on writing it, right? You get to decide exactly what this next chapter is and create it for yourself. All right. Obviously, you're not just gonna be arrogant about it and storm through the world and demand what you want. No. It's more because you're now more aware of what's important to you and what you want. You're going to speak up for yourself and advocate for yourself to create the life and the story that you want, rather than relying on all these external things to What am I trying to say? I think maybe in this previous chapter, you gave your power out to external things. It's like, oh, this job will take me in the direction I want to go. This relationship will take me in the direction I want to go. And you've kind of learned, oh, no, actually, I gave my power away, and that power is mine to choose how I live and how I navigate life. Okay, well, so this new chapter it's burgeoning. Love that word. It's burgeoning, about to come in, but you're here stuck in this energy of just going inward, unpacking things, processing things. And you know you want to go ahead in your own power. Great, wonderful. But it looks like you have absolutely no idea what direction to go in next or what to do next. Yeah, like I said, I'm a Scorpio moon and I'm very much relating to this. I don't know how this applies to your situation. Let me know. So yeah, you're in a place of indecision. So perhaps you can see there might be different options in front of you. They might be okay. You might just be a bit meh about it. Or maybe you're just waiting for the right or perfect thing to come in to start this new chapter. I don't know. Yeah. So again, still just stuck in this liminal space, waiting for whatever comes next to come next. Let's keep going and see what the advice is. It better be good. Interesting. So, very interesting. So, we started here back at the Queen of Cups, and, I mentioned that you are in this wonderful space where you can look at all of your experiences, look at everything that's going on inside of you, and you can hold space for it, and you can carry it, and you're not lost in an ocean of feelings. You can see it for what it is, and it's okay. It's calm waters. This happened, that happened. It brought me to where I am today, and that's okay. That's life. Beautiful, wonderful. The advice is to move from your heart space to your head space. So we've had a lot of swords here. 10 of Swords, ending. Ace of Swords, new beginning. 2 of Swords, indecision. What's the way forward? It looks like... Okay, so you're a Scorpio. You're a water sign. Navigating by the emotional space is very natural to you. And it's probably how you make a lot of your decisions, right? And as we go through life, we sort of learn to expand the other areas of our capacity that we might not be as good at, or we might not be as naturally inclined to use. So it looks like the challenge here is to perhaps approach this a bit rationally. So it might be, once you've mapped out what's important to you, what did you learn from the previous chapters, what then are you going to do differently in the next chapter? Once you've figured all that out, you can then make a very clear-headed, rational choice of what's going to be best for you. Not doing it based on emotions. If we do it in the emotional capacity, it might be like, oh, well, I tried that before and it didn't work. Oh, if I do that, it's probably going to fail and probably going to hurt me. We tell ourselves all these stories of, well, this previous experience went that way, so this future experience will probably go the same way. Well, no. We're going to put all that aside and just look at it rationally. It's like, okay, well, this is what's important to me. So if I choose that path, then it'll be most likely that it'll match my values and achieve the goals that I want to achieve. So that's the advice. moving from the heart to the head and being a bit more practical, logical, rational about how to move forward. And then perhaps that will open the pathway. Yep. So this just reinforces this feeling of stagnation, that just things aren't moving. So it might be a call to be patient. It's probably also a reminder that to move on to the next chapter, it'll be helpful to wrap up the previous chapter well. Leave behind what you don't want to take forward with you. Just be done with it, process it, wrap it up, learn the lesson, put it aside, and create more space and openness for the next thing. That's where you're at the moment. That's the work you're currently doing. It might feel really frustrating and like nothing's moving and that you're stagnant, but you're actually doing a lot of movement. It's all of this inner work. And, if anything, I hate using NAF idioms and things. You're leveling up. So there's a lot of inner movement. That doesn't sound right. Yeah, so even if the outer world and your physical reality might feel a bit stuck and that doors aren't opening, or everything going on in here, that's massive movement, massive transition. It's so important. It's going to set you up for whatever comes next. So if all of this work is done, then once that new chapter starts, you'll be ready to hit the ground running, and it's just going to fly off in whatever this new direction is. So be patient. Know that what you're doing is important and has value and worth. All right. Okay. Sorry, the cards are just reinforcing what I've already said. So you're very worried. Like I said before, all these stories of the past, well, it went badly that time, so it's probably going to go badly if I do choose that path again. You're very much wanting to move forward with your best, in your best, as your highest, most wonderful self. Love it. Beautiful. Wonderful. That's great. So this current timeout period, this stagnant period, this is the work you're doing, moving, like fast tracking yourself to your highest self. And, if you can level up now, the next chapter is going to be so many times better. You're not going to repeat cycles, repeat stories, repeat old patterns. No, leave all that behind. It's done. Level up. Level up, level up, level up. Sorry. Okay. Yeah. What did I say? As soon as you've finished that inner work, as soon as it's done, instantly you're going to fly off in another direction. As soon as you're done, the new chapter is going to start writing itself, and it's going to be verbal diarrhea, blah, 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 blah. Like, it's just going to write itself, page after page, chapter after chapter, and you're just going to, like, rush off into this, like, wonderful new future. So do the work now. Be patient. It's where you're meant to be. It's fine. I am listening to my own words and reminding myself, Scorpio moon. Oh, gosh. All right, Scorpio, I hope that was helpful. Let's just have a quick look at the bottom of the deck, shall we? Ooh, there's a new passion coming in. It might be your passion, or there might be some person that comes in and has some new offering for you. Sorry, I'll show the cards. We'll do it. Some new passion coming in. Maybe a person. Maybe an opportunity. A little bit of stagnation, waiting for your ships to come in. Everything coming back into balance. You finally getting what you deserve after all the shitty Ten of Swords experiences. Being so in touch with your intuition. Ugh. Like, I think once you finish that work, it's going to be so much easier for you to make decisions. You'll be like, yes, that's what I want. That's the direction I want to go in. Here we go. Full steam ahead. Like, I think it'll clear up a lot of the confusion once you get to the other side of it. Yep. I'm going to leave it there. Scorpio, I hope that was helpful. Please, I'm dying. Please, if you would love to support me, hit like, hit subscribe, give me some feedback. Let me know, where are you watching from? Otherwise, I'll see you next time, my loves. Bye for now.